What it do, tube? Scotty back at you with an I told you so video. And I hate to have to do an I told you so video under these circumstances. But I told you so. Now, I wish this was an I told you so video about the outcome of the Rams-Titans game from the other night. I predicted the score would be 28-19, and the score was 28-16. However, I predicted that the Rams would emerge victorious with the Titans shorthanded without the services of the King. And as it turned out, as we all now know, the Titans flipped the script and ran roughshod over the Rams at the Palace. So I'll call it when I'm right. I'll call it when I'm wrong. I was wrong about that one. But I told you so. I was right about something far more ominous. I told you the palace was haunted. And you saw it on full, ghoulish, grisly, grotesque display Sunday night for the world to see. Sunday night football at the palace. You saw a haunted house. Matt from Detroit showed up again in full display. I told you. Matt from Detroit was going to continue to show up until he cost the Rams a game against a quality opponent. I told you. And that is exactly what happened. Oh, the palace is haunted. Matt from Detroit is a poltergeist. He throws things at people. He throws footballs at people of the wrong uniform. You saw it. Now, I could go through all of the god-awful numbers, QBR, and I'm not. Because if you saw the game, or even if you saw the highlights, the numbers don't do it justice. Did you see that whirling, twirling, throw it right to the defensive lineman interception that Matt from Detroit threw out of the end zone, out of his own end zone? Did you see that? Oh, that was horrific. Terrifying. I saw that. I stood, seriously, I was seated and I stood up like, what in the awful hell is going on here? See, some of you thought I was exaggerating when I said there's a poltergeist haunting Rams Palace in Inglewood, SoFi Stadium. Matt from Detroit has been making little brief appearances here and there. And then they kind of do a little ceremony at halftime or whatever, and they exorcise him and get him out of there. But on Sunday, he dominated the entire game. After that whirling dervish, horrific interception out of the end zone, Matt from Detroit had the audacity to follow it up with a pick six on the next drive. Oh my God. This is what I have been warning everyone about. I've been crying out into the darkness. Matt from Detroit keeps showing up. He's going to cost them. And now you all have seen it. The world has seen it. The palace is haunted. And that poltergeist there is getting more rambunctious. McVay is going to have to do something dramatic to change the tides. See, because next is San Francisco in the Bay. The nemesis, McVay's nemesis, the thorn in McVay's side. I am not going to come off my pick of the Rams to go up there and win, but I tell you what, it's a pick of the heart. Because everything in my being is suggesting to me that the Rams are going to go up there and stumble. And Matt from Detroit is going to show himself yet again. And the Rams are going to stumble into the bye. I hope I'm wrong about that. I'll be the first one to say, thank God I was wrong. You cannot spot quality teams, 2 touchdowns, quality defenses, 2 touchdowns, and expect to still win the ball game. You just can't. You're not that good. The Rams, they've got a lot of things in place, but it's not all there. There's still, you could see it, there's still areas of unease there. McVay, the things that made him the boy genius, I'm wondering if he's falling away from those principles. Misdirection, disguising plays, creativity. It looks as though he's allowed Matthew Stafford to create this false sense of security where he's just almost gone into a lazy drop back kind of a game. The run has been, the last couple weeks has been secondary. And honestly, Matthew Stafford needs help. He's not going to win a Super Bowl for you on his own. Boy, genius. You've got to help him. You've got to give him creative plays. You've got to mix it up. Keep the defense guessing. All those things that made you McGenius. Matthew Stafford needs that. Gotta run the ball. Gotta run the ball now. Even if you're not, you gotta pound it. Even if you're not necessarily gaining big chunk yards, don't abandon it. Now, in this case, I get it. Matt from Detroit showed up, wrecked the game plan. You're down 2 touchdowns and more early, and you go right into, panic, chuck the ball around mode. Another recipe for disaster. Some of these 4th down calls from McVay where instead of running the ball on 4th and short, you elect to have Matt Stafford throw it. I just wish there were times when McVay would be more fundamental when it comes to ground game principles. And for the love of all that is holy, you got to mix up the pass game. This straight drop back, empty backfield, let Matt be the hero ball is a recipe for disaster as the season progresses. when you start playing the elite teams, when the weather changes, etc., etc., etc. He knows that. I'm just a guy on the couch. But I recognize a haunted house when I see one. So we're going to continue to monitor the goings-on at the palace. This you know. We'll check back in after the San Francisco game. We'll see where the Rams stand. Hopefully, it's at 8-2 going into the bye. Scotty says, please, if you haven't already, subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know, what do you think we can do to get this evil spirit out of the palace in Inglewood? Thumbs up. And until next time, my folks, one love.